Ready we are then for the second edition of the WPL. The first edition saw Mumbai Indians run away to the title after dominating most of the league stage. The question we're asking on ESPN Cricinfo Runorder is, can anyone challenge Mumbai Indians' crown this time in WPL 2? One of us has already revealed their intentions with that firm head nod. The stars have aligned in such a beautiful way that all of you have managed to pick one team each who you think has a good shot of going the distance this season. We begin from last year's Wooden Spooners. Gujarat Giants finished 5th, but Valkyrie Baines believes they are in with a chance. Why is that, Val?
Okay, so they were last in 2023. They only won 2 and lost 6. Ash Gardner, we all know what she can do. She was their best batter, but she was number 12 on the overall list. However, they recruited Phoebe Litchfield, another Australian. She went for big money, 1 crore or 120,000 US dollars or thereabouts. She made her international debut in India just over a year ago. She shares the joint fastest 50 in women's T20 Is of 18 balls against West Indies last October, and she hit a 78-metre 6 off Renuka Singh at Wankhede Stadium quite recently. So she's got experience in India. There was a lot of hype when she went for big money at the auction. And Michael Klinger, who's taken over as their coach, he said she could be the best player in the world in a very short period of time. So there's a lot of big ups on Phoebe Litchfield there. That aside, they've got some other fantastic names in their lineup. So on paper, they're great. Beth Mooney, they've retained Laura Wolfhard, who was a replacement last year, Sneh Rana, Meghna Singh, Harleen Deol and Veda Krishnamurti. So there's a very big mix of very experienced players.
I think Val quietly slipped an important word at the very end by saying inexperience, and there's a lot of inexperience in that Giants lineup. Even Saili Sadghare, she's done well in recent times in the domestic system, but that's been in one-day format. Meghna Singh, a very good name, a known name, is played internationals, but she is not experienced in T20 level and even in terms of the WPL level. This is her first WPL, so I think that's gonna hurt them, haunt them, call what you may.
I think, are they the only franchise with an associate player in the squad? So they could actually play 5 internationals because they've got Catherine Bryce there. And if you can play all 5, then probably you can strengthen your lineup quite a lot. I don't know if I'm even supposed to be arguing in favour of another team though, so maybe I'm just going to be quiet.
For the Wooden Spooners last year, I'll take all the support I can get for those. And that is a very good argument because that does allow them to draw on that experience of the overseas players that they do have. So they've got that extra little ace up their sleeve, I suppose you could say.
Let's shift our attention to team number 4, Royal Challengers Bangalore, who began the WPL much the same way. That same name team has started lots of IPL campaigns with so many A-listers, and then it took them net run rate to avoid being Wooden Spooners. But Shashank Kishore, a Bangalore loyalist, believes they are in with a shot. Shashank, how do you retain this faith?
Before we begin, I just hope history repeats itself, at least considering what we saw in the IPL. They finished second from bottom in the first season and then made an inspired run to the final in season 2. So I think the current RCB setup will take a final finish this time around.
So there you have it. Gujarat Giants versus RCB is the final this time. We've called.
But look, they've plugged a lot of gaps that they had after the first season at the auction. Last year Renuka Singh was battling injury concerns. She had a stress injury that she picked up immediately soon after the WPL, and the reactions of it, probably came in after the World Cup. So she wasn't fully fit during the WPL. Richa Ghosh was battling fitness concerns. Megan Schutt wasn't in the best of form. So they had a lot of bowlers who weren't delivering for them, and that really proved to be a massive difference. This time around, they've got Ekta Bisht, very underrated signing, but I think a good signing. Experienced Indian left-arm spinner who can bowl across different phases in a T20 innings. They also have Georgia Wareham, who's done really well over the years in the WBBL coming in. Kate Cross, who lends a lot of teeth to the seam department. They've got a very good core of foreign players who can complement the local Indian players who've come a long way over the last 1 year. Shriyanka Patil, for example, who's gone on to become a India player and probably the next big superstar the balance of the squad looks a lot better than what we saw in the first season, and won't be surprised if they, finish in the top 3.
RCB matrix. Anyone?
I think RCB are a glitch themselves, if I could say. But jokes aside, I'll be interested to see what happens to Sophie Devine's availability if RCB make the knockouts, because obviously there's a clash between the WPL and that international series between New Zealand and England. So if one of their top players goes away, then what happens?
That is a very interesting point that RCB will have to probably, sort out well before, it goes to the knockout stages.
Well done, Vishal. You've ensured no one with the number 18 in their social handles will ever follow you on social media. But I believe you are the one next in line. Third last season, and the team to make the eliminator where they lost to Mumbai Indians were UP Warriorz. What makes them a more compelling case than what we saw of them last time around?
Well, if I had to pick only one reason, I would just say they have Chamari Atapattu, and I would leave this video.
That's enough.
But apart from that, unlike RCB and Gujarat Giants, they were not the worst team. They were not fighting for that lowest spot, bottom spot in WPL last year, but they were also not the best team. One of the problems they had was they were relying a little bit too much on overseas players. So the one thing that I would be interested to see is how the Indian players, the international players, those who have played international cricket, especially, they step up. If they can do that, they can give Mumbai Indians and Delhi Capitals a run for their money. And otherwise, they also have Deepti Sharma, Anjali Sarvani, a left-arm quick. It's always a rare commodity in cricket, no matter where you go.
Is picking the overseas 4 going to be a big challenge for them?
Yeah, I think so.
Alyssa
Look at
Healy,
Elisa
Danny
Healy,
Wyatt.
Grace Harris, Danny White, Sophie Eccleston, Talia Magra, Atapattu. Good luck to them picking this 4.
But also, I look at that UP Warriors squad, Yash. It's almost a case of putting all your eggs in one basket, and that basket being Lauren Bell. That was the only seamer they had, and now you look at that squad, there's no fast bowling. Talia Magra in international cricket itself, she's not a 4 overs bowler every game. She gets hit, easy to hit. There's only S. Yashasri who gives you fast bowling, proper fast bowling. So I was really surprised that they replaced Lauren Bell with Chamari Atapattu. Everybody wanted Atapattu in this league, but was it at the cost of a fast bowler? The only fast bowler in the squad is something the league will tell us this season.
Yeah, we thought when we were watching the IPL later last year that if this UP team gets to play in Lucknow, they're a dream side because they have all the spin resources and more available. But well, they have to take all those spinners, at least for the first half of this competition, to that spin heaven, which is Chinnaswamy Stadium. So good luck to UP Warriors. Next up come the runners-up, Delhi Capitals, who, in fact, many forget, had actually topped the league stage. They had pipped Mumbai Indians eventually on net run rate before going down in the final. So Darshanan, you believe they are a better side than they were last season?
I think they're the best side in WPL 2024. I mean, they were strong last season. They went to the auction and just became stronger. Annabelle Sutherland, what a season she is having. Double century in the one-off test match. Forget the format. She's also scored runs, centuries in ODIs and T20s. Of course, she's been bowling well. She led Melbourne Stars in the WBBL after Meg Lanning left captaincy as well. And Meg Lanning, she's back, hungrier for runs. We saw her score heavily in those 6 games that she played in the WNCL, 3 50-plus scores, 2 of which were 80-plus. So I think this side doesn't need reasons to justify why they will be lifting the trophy. I won't jinx it, but at least the top 2 finish for sure once again.
We know that Marizanne Kapp has just been ill. She misses games frequently. What do you think will happen? Do you think she'll play consistently, or how do you see that playing out?
I think that is one area where they have a problem of plenty as to what will be their 4 overseas combination. And I guess that's why they brought in Annabelle Sutherland, which is what, after looking at that auction, I felt that they needed a backup for Marizanne Kapp. Last season, they somehow got away with it. I think this season, they got a wonderful insurance. So even if she doesn't play, they won't be losing sleep over it. And in fact, they'll be tempted to play both of Kapp and Sutherland. That will be a very, very long lineup.
Okay, so that leaves us with one team and one representative on this show. Firdaus Munda, tell us, why will Mumbai Indians retain their crown? And you are not allowed to give Shabnim Ismail as your sole answer.
No, that was never going to be my sole answer. From a continuity perspective, and we often talk about winning being a habit. We saw it in the SA20, the same team lifted the trophy again. So there is that idea that there is success that they can build on. And I will mention Shabnam Ismail because I saw on our written preview on the website, she was mentioned as a backup for Izzy Wong. And I'm telling you, if she reads the words backup, you are going to see a different kind of Shabnam Ismail. She ain't nobody's backup. So I think we're going to see a lot of good things from her. She's retired from international cricket, haven't seen her for quite some time, and she's really, really fired up and ready to show what she can do. But then, of course, Izzy Wong must come into the conversation as well. Fantastic overseas player. The other overseas players are also strong. So Chloe Tryon, we know, can hit a ball really hard. Hayley Matthews is probably the best all-rounder in the women's game. She was the leading wicket taker last season. And then they've also got Nat Silverbrunt. And I don't really think you can get better combinations than that. They have so much they can work with there. The challenge, if there is something I want to throw out to Mumbai Indians, is to see how the Indian players now step up. I really want to see more from the Indian domestic players. And the one that I think everybody should look out for is Sai Kaishak. It's not just a story about a player doing really well, but it's a real story of inspiration from where she comes from, and having been in India and actually stayed around the Park Circus area of Calcutta during the World Cup, for that to come to life for me and to see what she's had to go through to get to where she is just incredible. And then the other player I just want to mention is the 20-year-old Jintamani Kalita. She's young and also offers that left-arm option. So I think to have a variety of all-rounders, seam bowling all-rounders, spin bowling all-rounders, they're in a very good place.
I have a quick question, just going back to your first point about Ismail, being the spearhead as opposed to Izzy Wong's backup. We've seen, over the past year, Izzy Wong has sort of lost her place within the England setup. So, what sort of a role do you see her playing for them? Do you see her coming out hungrier than ever, or do you think that there still could be, an issue there, and that, Ismail has to take, on a lot more of that responsibility?
But I actually think what we could see happen is that Shabnam Ismail will act as a mentor to Izzy Wong. It's something that she thrives on. She's done it with Tumiseko Kune here in South Africa, as well as a little bit with Nadine de Klerk, who we know is also playing in the WPL. And it's something that she's really good at. So I think she'll see a player slightly down on confidence maybe, who's lost her national spot, who needs a little bit to get her going again, and probably work quite well with her. And maybe the results of that partnership you will see in the English summer later this year.
Right then, now anyone with any last words? Vishal's obviously won the bout for the most famous last words on this edition of Runorder, but I give the rest of you a chance now.
He's made us speechless.
Well done. He was talking about a team that tend to leave these competitions speechless. He mentioned RCB. Which way will WPL go then the second time around? Tell us in the comment section who you think will win. Will it be Mumbai Indians again, or will they be stopped? That does it from us on ESPN Cricinfo Runorder.